Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I have to say, I'm happy about something. And this is one of those things that some people, I ride the fence on this, okay, myself. But I don't know how long ago it was. It was recently. It was this year, I think. Or maybe last year, I don't know. But I mentioned this about that there aren't any channels that I have seen that are reaction channels, actually reaction channels, makes reaction videos. Sometimes they have more than one genre, but this one, there weren't any I didn't see, like I said, for delivery drivers, except maybe mine, one of mine. I didn't do the same kind of reaction. I never do. I don't show somebody's channel, show somebody's videos. I don't name their channel. I don't name the person. I just talk about the behaviors I see, good or bad, or it's really usually bad when they have some kind of really negative attitude or something, like the people who constantly complain about the customers. You take the order, I've said this I don't know how many times since 2023, before 2023, because before 2023 I was making videos about delivery people, I think since 2017 maybe, somewhere around there. But I could be wrong. Memory, But anyway, I'm hearing some weird noise, so it's distracting me. Let me see if I can figure out what that is. Okay, it must have been some bird making a weird noise. I don't know, but anyway. But I have said this about there needs to be reaction channels. I kind of like them, kind of don't, but for those who do delivery deliveries, like food deliveries or grocery deliveries. I'm not into that grocery thing. I thought I would be. The shop and pay, or whatever they call them. To me, it's shop and deliver, shop and deliver, I would call it. But I didn't like them. I think it was after I did a couple I did a few and they were okay on Uber Eats. But one time there was a woman it was CVS, and usually I don't mention all that much, but I was in there and this woman walked up to me, and I was looking for the stuff for the order, and she kept getting really, really close to her phone, close to mine. Yeah, I've seen that on that one, and another another delivery service. Somebody do that, get real close to their phone, real close to mine. I don't know what's going on, but the big thing there with why I quit was because of that, of going all the way over there more than once looking for the product, and they didn't have it, getting a manager, whatever, all the time spent, and it was more than one thing, and they just didn't have them, and then not getting any pay for it. Well, I think one of them I did, and then they stopped doing that, or something like that. I don't remember, I could be wrong, but I did on at least that one. Anyway, let me skip all that kind of stories, but I think that it's good that somebody does a reaction channel, but they need to be honest, and they need to be not kissing up. Okay, that's how I see it. Not putting up people and glorifying them. Instead, just let the audience give their view of that person, or the person who's doing the video give their real view. Really pay attention to what's going on. But I had read one, I don't remember what I searched, but it was an AI overview. Googled it, and their AI overview about why people they like people who are what was the term? Bad behaviors. Yeah, that's it. Changed my question itself, and it said basically, I was seeing this social media phenomenon on And when somebody likes, and they will compliment the person and all that in the comments, a person whose behaviors are bad, but they overlook those behaviors. And this was one example. They overlook the behaviors because the person is giving them good information. But they'll overlook the bad behaviors. Well, there are some people who are watching it, like me, and won't overlook those bad behaviors, and they make comments, and yeah. And I think that's fair. But you have people who do what they call dirty deleting of the video, which they don't actually have to delete it. They can just put it on private, or unlisted, or they dirty delete the comments, or have somebody who does that for them, or at least that's how it used to be. I don't know. So I haven't done that in a long time. But I mean, I haven't done it because I don't get comments really. But once I started getting those comments that were sent to people to other links, I turned mine off. I didn't turn the comments off. I turned it to where I have to allow any comments. I have to, I get to see them first. And once I did that, I stopped getting comments. So, yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, this video is like a video fail already. But the person needs to be fair. Okay. Now there are trolls. We know they call them trolls, and some people call them. I never liked that. Call them trolls, but they, just go video to video making negative comments, and they don't even watch the video. This kind of thing. But usually, I mean, some comments are going to be rough. Some comments. So I think that the person who dirty deletes their comments or their videos, something fair about it is when somebody does a reaction channel and then they go through that and show it, those people have a voice again. Their freedom of speech is not taken away from them by dirty deleting. Well, now, I say that, but I agree that, hey, if there was something wrong with people deleting this or that, then they wouldn't be able to do it. So we don't own their channels. Seriously, we don't own their channels. I mean, I'm not the one that made the rules, so but I can see that we don't. If I made a video and I made a big mistake, I didn't like it, I'd like to be able to delete it or put it on private, or if somebody left a really bad, awful comment, I'd like to be able to delete it. If it's something really awful, might hurt other people. It's like I remember somebody wouldn't delete his comments, and they were pretty bad. They were really against women. That was back in the 2018, somewhere around there. And they were really negative toward women, the comments. So, yeah, he should have deleted those. And these days, I don't know if they had it back then or not, but there's certain things people cannot leave in comments. So, the rules are rules, Anyway. But, so I like this. I like that I saw this reaction channel come up. I don't know how long it's been there. I don't know how long he's done it. But it was recommended to me. That was weird. I get a lot of stuff recommended to me. But I was just saying in a video, I don't know if I put it up or put it on private. Ooh. I mean, I make videos, some I never make public. But, I had said this, like I said, earlier this year, last year, whenever, that it would be nice. Somebody do a reaction channel that was fair, that was open, honest, this kind of thing. But this one, still, I don't know. The first time I watched it, I thought, the one that was recommended, I said, nah, is he kissing up? The guy, is he kind of kissing up? So that none of them are going to try to jump on him for doing that. There's so many rules to all that, how you have to, there used to be, change the appearance and or make comments about, commentary about what they're saying after so many seconds or so. I don't know. I never made any. So, But I've been around a long time on YouTube before I started making videos. But I started making videos. Next month will be 11 years. I'm not saying 11 months, 11 years. So it's my original channel. I have more than one channel. And I've seen plenty. I've seen plenty of reaction channels. Some of them used to be called drama channels, gossip channels. There are various names that have changed over the years and all that. And some call themselves parody channels. They do different than, reaction channels. But anyway, I saw one of them earlier today. Earlier. And not earlier, really, too much. My goodness, what is going on? But I was happy because this woman, one of the women, not just one, but one of them, she will dirty delete those, they call it that, those comments quicker than you can imagine. She must be sitting there, have somebody, more than one person, monitoring it and zap them away, But if you see, to me, this is my experience in 11 years, if somebody has all these comments that are all glorifying the person making it, and there are no negative comments, there's a good chance. Because, we're so split these days here in the United States. So split. I'm an independent, so, I don't pick a side. I just judge by myself for what I see. And like this woman, she's got all these good comments. Don't think so, because what she says, what she does is kind of controversial. Yeah, I've never known people that have opposing views to be that quiet before. So, and she did actually dirty delete a video that because people were leaving her really negative comments and it seemed like on both sides because they didn't like what she was saying and doing. So, but myself, I'm watching today, I saw another video and it recommended to me. I don't understand this. Well, I do understand. I've been around 11 years. But it recommended it's the same person too. And there's more than one I watched on that to see. And okay, where was I? But anyway, I thought about this. I need to mention this. I have seen people, every blue moon make just one video saying that they watched somebody's video and they thought of something negative, and they would say whatever was negative. And I think one guy had made one on this woman. I don't know if they say the names of the channels or in the past, but I can understand people doing that. They just disapprove on having bad attitudes, snarky, snarly, all that kind of stuff, and the smirk while lying, and lying, saying that they don't. The biggest thing I've seen in all these 11 years, and it wasn't on just food delivery, it was different before then, is that they say that they don't have enough money for food. That's usually the biggest one that I've seen. And from they're e-beggars, they're grifters, swindlers, on and on. And even the reaction channels. And anyway, then there's another one. But anyway, when I saw this today, I thought, man, I would if there were more. Recommended me another one, and there were more negative comments than the previously, when I was thinking he's just kissing up. But no, this time people make comments because the behavior that was shown, one major one, was wrong. There is no saying that could be right. Okay, there just isn't. But we're so divided. Some people will still say it like that, like information I mentioned that I Googled, and so that some people will overlook the behaviors. and they'll still take up for them because they feel like that's somebody is somebody that's their friend. They get to that point where they think this is a friend, and no. But there was that. But I like that there was, people, reality there. Not everybody's going to agree. Not everybody's going to like that person. I don't. I do not. So many reasons. And then there's another one that tends to do this, and I have seen this all of these 11 years. It was the first thing. Well, those two, when somebody was doing the e-begging, I don't have money for groceries. That one and this one were the first two that I saw, I believe. That was 11 years ago, next month. It was that of, the second one was they steal somebody's idea. They seem to think that if somebody does a video, oh, that's a good topic, I'm going to take it and I'm going to do my own. But they just think that everybody's idea is up for grabs for anybody. And there was a woman back then, she was telling people that. And she was kind of popular for back then. I don't think she is now. I think she's still around. There were two of them. And that's what they would do. It's steal people's ideas. And it didn't matter who. They did me. And they would tell people to do that. And one of her followers did that on mine, and I confronted her. Okay? And she was all giggly in her response. So, and she wasn't on there very long after that. But I've had more than one do that over the years, and there are a lot of people who have that, because some of these people really think that they can steal. That's what it is. It's theft. Somebody's ideas, and they get away with it. But it's still, you got that on you. You stole somebody's idea. They're not very creative, So, and some of them aren't smart enough to know that other people notice too. And they're dated. Okay, dated. These have a date, and they used to have time before. Like the comments too. At least I think so. It's been a while. But anyway, and there's this one woman now who's in the delivery, and she will take anybody. She took mine, 2 of them. I did videos, and I hardly ever really make videos because I do these deliveries myself for health insurance, and boy do I need it. With heart failure this year. In March I was in the ER, heart failure. And I got to do something. I live in Texas. I'm not going to go into detail, but that's how it is. I wanted to pay for it outright. Nope, can't do it. You got to do it this way. So, and with the problems I had, the health problems, this is all I could do is the delivery. It's the only thing, because when I need to go home and put my feet up, and when I need to go home and rest, when I can't work, I can do that. And what other kind of job is going to allow me to do that? Okay. So anyway, that's the very short version. But this woman, so I had topics, that would come up natural. I do all these deliveries. I was since 2023, and I had some funny stories. There were funny stories. There were kind of spooky stories, and most of the stuff was just I go pick up, delivery. That's that. There's no big story. But some of them were, like I said, funny, frightening, scary, creepy, you name it. Really. But I could also see things in my, where I was working. I mean, you can't even really call it your market, because would other people work the same as I? Really. I mean, seriously. I go from, this is north of Dallas. I go from it's a big county, and but would other people do it, or would they stay right in their town? Or what in the world is that? In their just in their town or their city, their suburb, their whatever. Yeah, But I kept thinking that my area, some of the area that I was doing was a test market. I really do. think that back then. And there was a time when they had these fleet people. That's what I called them. Fleet people. They drove the same kind of sedan. They didn't match. The people, the way they dressed and everything was like middle class, even upper middle class. But they were driving these old beat up sedans that were beat up, as in they have been in a wreck. On all of them, at least one hubcap was missing. That's the front passenger and side hubcap. And the way they drove and what they did, it was just, and they were always busy. But while they were working, when I would see them, not so much. And I did, wind up at the same place with some of them. They'd have the big part of the order, and I would have, like, one time I had a Sonic Route 44. That was it. That's what I was delivering. And the other person that had an order to deliver at the same time had the big meal. You see, so their tip was probably higher. So, and things like that. I could see. Doesn't know how to make videos on them. Well, this woman stole them, two of them. I don't know if she did the rest of them, because I'm not subscribed to her, and she just pops up every once in a while too. I was recommended, but people like that. Some people need to have a voice and say, this is inappropriate. I don't appreciate that. I know you did this. You did this to somebody else. Why can't you come up with your own ideas? Why do you have to take from somebody else? People have opinions on that. Now, if they're dirty deleting their comments, anything that's against them, that aren't like troll comments, these are just somebody's opinion. They see what you do, and they're saying, stop doing that. That's not appropriate. You see? So, there are several people I've watched, like that one, like I was saying, I don't even know who he is, the guy that went up against the one that I really dislike. And he did not have, I remember I made a little bit of a video about it. What is that expression? Don't have irons in the fire, or coals in the fire, He didn't have any. He had no reason to kiss up, I guess I could say. He really didn't feel. He mentioned this in his video, and he flat out said what he didn't like, and it was. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember if he said her name or what, but it was kind of obvious to me, at least. It was so true to form. But anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up because it's probably really long by now. I'm wrapping up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.